the Christmas Invitational Group C. We have a fantastic event on our hands today. A great group. As we kick this off with our very first series, going to be some PvP action to the bottom left-hand side. Our blue Protoss player from Armor Team. This is ShoWTimE. Going up against the red Protoss to the top right-hand side from Team Liquid. We have ourselves MaNa kicking it off in some PvP action. We've got some ShoWTimE hype in the chat already. I know. Isn't it exciting? I'm very excited for ShoWTimE as well. As we get this going, a couple of gateways coming down on each side of the map. And a Cybernetics core going to be placed on either side as well. So, gates, Cybercore, getting this set up and going here in the early stages. As we do see the probe is going to be hopping up in towards the main base. Going to see Cybercore and so on all getting placed down. And, yeah, just looking to see what's going to happen here, guys. How we all do today? Welcome. Great to have you all with me. Oh, I'm just surprised we went into the game so fast. You know, usually we mess around, we wait for players and this and that, etc. And, yeah, and today we're just like, boom, game of StarCraft 2, boom, StarCraft. I'm a simple man, I see ShoWTimE plays and I tune in. I like it. I like it. Alright, well, going into this here and seeing what's happening. Stalker and a Sentry coming up here from MaNa. A couple of Stalkers on the way out to follow this up as well. So, I actually cast a little bit of MaNa playing against Hearthstone last night, playing some pretty fun games of StarCraft. As you see that Stalker come in and is going to be able to grab that probe up to the top side. ShoWTimE going to be coming across with this Stalker and the Sentry coming in as well, trying to see what they can do. As we do have the couple of units just moving over. There's that Nexus coming down on each side of the map. So Nexus dropping down on either side. As we see another couple of Stalkers going to be finishing up here. And a Warp Gate upgrade on both players. So both players expanding. ShoWTimE going to go into that Stargate. I honestly haven't had a chance to cast ShoWTimE in a long time. I feel like the last time I casted ShoWTimE was when... I feel the last time I casted ShoWTimE was when he played in that Korean group for BTSL, I think it was, and he just stomped everybody. And it was like, wow, ShoWTimE. I think he beat like Innovation and Zest or something crazy. It was really sick, though. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to cast ShoWTimE in a long time. So really cool to get the opportunity here. As we see this hallucinated Phoenix from MaNa, and is just having a little bit of a scout around. Currently looking to see what is going on. A couple of Stalkers in the Sentry there, able to pick that up. So picking that up and getting that kill as we see this Oracle heading across the map. So Oracle heading across towards the upper right here. There's that Blink just chrono boosting away at the moment. And as we do have the Oracle is about to arrive on the upper side in the next little while. A couple of Stalkers going to get warped in with this. These couple of Sentries hanging out up to the top as well. And as we do see, so far ShoWTimE not going to find much of an opportunity to deal damage here. I mean, he doesn't need to find too much damage either. His own expansion was pretty quick. Obviously with two Oracles, the probes are going to drop a lot faster as well. It means if there was already a shield battery there, the first Oracle wouldn't have really done much anyways. And we see this Blink being chrono boosted out of the Twilight Council. So chrono boosting out that Blink, getting that set up and ready to go. As we do see two Adepts are going to move forwards. And they are going to try and pick up a couple of kills here. Try and get some of these probes. So one probe goes down. The Oracle's just flying right in. 5 workers killed. 6 workers killed. Not a bad start at all. As we're going to be seeing the Oracle going to hide away up to the upper right-hand side. Just getting away into the corner there. Hallucinated Phoenix from MaNa comes across in towards the main. He is going to have a good look around and just check to see what exactly ShoWTimE's follow-up is going to be here. Now, MaNa has that earlier Blink, remember, so that does open up some options right now. As we do have the hallucination just taking a couple of shots of damage. It does open up some options to really be aggressive, and he's even throwing down another gateway on this side of the map, so he's going up to the 4 gates. He'll be doubling the production on the warp gates of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE does already have one Immortal, building a second shield battery as well, preparing for this. Great first little move here from MaNa. He hits that Immortal, pops the shield the barrier on it, And now it means that it's going to be a little bit more vulnerable when these Stalkers come in. That's a stasis ward, so MaNa can't just blink on top of this here. He will currently just force fill that away. Blinks one Stalker forwards. I like that. Gives him a bit more momentum and just a little bit more chance to come in without any issues. Shield batteries drained eventually, and the first Immortal goes down. The next one about to pop up here as he kites back from that Zealot. He's now blinking backwards defensively. Great blink again. Single Stalker comes in, hits that Immortal, and forces then blinks away. So that barrier is once again faded off here. As we're going to be seeing the Stalker's still blinking around. Actually gets that Immortal right there. Another Stalker going down. Probe's in a little bit of trouble here as well. And we're just going to be seeing more Stalkers from ShoWTimE continue to press forwards. Oracle overhead, trying to see what it can do. I mean, honestly, anything right now helps. We're going to be seeing those Stalkers shots going off on the Oracle. It's shots that aren't going off on these other Stalkers. Another shield battery's finished. Blinking forwards for the Warp Prism to get rid of it as ShoWTimE continues to try and hold on. Targeting down low health Stalkers currently. I mean, nice top play by MaNa. Targets down the lower, the warping in Stalkers so they can't really micro back or anything. So a good job there. As you see, these Stalkers still just holding this natural expansion. What's up, Chicken Man? Thank you so much for the 11-month resub. Appreciate it, dude. Give me some love in the chat for Chicken Man. You see those Stalkers are still going just a little bit wild at the moment. These guys going up against each other. Boom, gets one Stalker here. Probe's pulling in as well. Another Stalker going down, and MaNa still has a fair few Stalkers, but another Immortal from ShoWTimE, and he will hold this off, but it's been a bit of a tough time as we see MaNa just going to be pulling back. He's not been able to thoroughly break through, so backing away at the moment as we see Forge, another Rebel coming up in the main base. Charge coming down as well, and the +1 attack upgrade also coming in on the Forge. So all of this is getting going as we see the Twilight Council dropping in on the main base. And that Forge just being chrono boosted here with that +1. Sentry getting warped in as well on the natural expansion. And that robot facility also currently on the way up. Twilight Council is going to be coming through from ShoWTimE. Just getting himself the option to go in towards a little bit of a blink or so perhaps in the next few moments. Getting those 4 gateways just continue to come up here. We're going to be seeing another couple of gates starting to go down on the far left. Going to throw down Temple Archives as well. I mean, ShoWTimE is much later on the charge. Adding on 5 gates as well, go up to 7 against 6. Obviously, he's only been on 2 warp gates until this point. Does find this warp gate down here. That's something that will be taken out from ShoWTimE very shortly. So MaNa will lose a little bit of his production structure that he's got set up. Third base, just a little bit ahead from MaNa as well. Having been on the map, he's obviously felt pretty confident. So, MaNa just going to have to sit on the third as we're going to be seeing. Here we go, this pylon. And the gateway just going to get taken down. No real shocker there. That's something MaNa was expecting to lose as he continues to scout with that hallucinated Phoenix. He really wants to just continue seeing exactly what's going on here. Make sure he's always aware of what is currently happening. And that hallucinated Phoenix so far is doing a pretty good job of it. Stalkers coming down to the bottom side of the map as another hallucination gets picked off. 2 more High Templar warping in as well. As that hallucination also comes all the way through the top side here. All the way through. Doing a pretty okay job of everything so far. There's an Archon on the way up here from MaNa as well, so just getting that out. And as you see, +2 attack coming up on either side of the map. There's those Stalkers just going to come in and picking off a pylon at the front. Again, Prism just hanging out overhead with Archons, Immortals, Stalkers. A few Stalkers blinking in there and getting just a quick pick off and a little bit of damage. Dark Shrine comes down, another gateway going to get set up. All of this currently underway. And as we're going to be seeing those couple of Immortals continue to press out in towards the center. So MaNa having to keep on blinking up towards the upper right hand side, trying to escape out here at the moment. Hallucination from ShoWTimE is coming around the upper left side and going across. See what it can find in the next few moments as well, perhaps. As we're going to be seeing Stalkers trying to fight just a little bit here, but so far no luck. You see that Observer is taking a few shots of damage, is going to go down. Nice little pickup there in the end. So there's Dark Shrine coming through. I mean, right now, MaNa leads by a few workers. With the Dark Shrine, obviously, you expect him to have some potential to harass, right? And if ShoWTimE does lose workers here, he might be into a little bit of trouble. Obviously, the game is in a bit of a weird spot where ShoWTimE is still fully saturated on 44 workers on his first 2 bases. It's his 3rd base that he isn't really using, apart from the 8 workers that transferred from the main. So ShoWTimE's essentially only on 2 base saturation as he sets up here, and I just don't know really what his advantage is as he pushes across. I mean, he's going to have the same upgrades as MaNa. He does have more Archons, admittedly, so maybe it's just the Archons here going to make the difference, but he does have less Stalkers as well, so, you know, it's got a bit of this, but a little bit less of that. He's going to try and make something happen with that Warp Prism towards the main, while also pushing with the main army through the center, forced enough to pull back into the main to deal with 2 Immortals and a Warp in of Zealots, and then all of a sudden maybe he can push in, and that multitasking can go a long way. He's immediately going to go after Pylons here. Robo Facility would be a huge pick-off as well, but obviously doesn't see that just yet. Couple Zealots go towards the mineral line. I mean, why on earth not, right, as we're going to be seeing. Again, just going after a whole bunch of Pylons. I love this attack so far from ShoWTimE. He's done so much damage, and now he's going to start picking up probes. There go the defensive Dark Templar, which means he's going to reveal the fact he's got the Dark Shrine way in advance of actually using it aggressively. And boom, just lifts up that Prism, recalls it back home, makes sure it's going to be home to actually defend from MaNa's counterattack. I mean, honestly, ShoWTimE found a good amount of value from this. I mean, Gateway's unpowered and all sorts, so I don't think he's going to be too worried about having lost a few Zealots in that harassment. Obviously, MaNa has a whole bunch of Zealots in that main base that aren't exactly in this fight either. Is ShoWTimE now pressing in? What a play those 2 Immortals were, because it just looks like he has way too much, even though the game was just so even until that point. Let's do this as we kick off into game number 2. Just for some reason my scoreboard wasn't changing. We have to the bottom right hand side the Blue Protoss player down at map. It's MaNa. He probably just thought he had the better fighting army, because really he kind of did have the better setup. Had more probes and everything until those Immortals came in, and maybe he just thought that was the moment where he could get something done, but no, it was actually not that at all. As we have to the top left hand side our Red Bros player from Armor Team. This is ShoWTimE. Up 1 game. Matar's Hagru coming in with the 200 bits with the hashtag charity as well. Thank you so much. Keep hashtagging that charity, guys. That's 400 bits. That's $4 towards the 100 we need to run a tournament on Friday. Obviously, if you want to support this tournament, you can do that through Match Arena as well. I just don't know. I just sort of thought we'd do something different today and see how interested you guys are, maybe making something happen and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes as we kick this off. Has ShoWTimE lost a match yet? No, this is our 2nd map of the 1st series today, so you're tuning in right on time to just enjoy the games. What's up, Freesby? Thank you so much for coming in with that Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate it. Perfect. Thank you so much. As you do see that probe taking a little bit of a nibble right there. Yeah, thank you for the few bits, guys. I mean, if everyone in this chat, well, let's do the math. If everyone in this chat right now cheered 20 bits, we would have an extra tournament on Friday. Put it that way. If everyone in the chat cheered 20 bits, isn't that just crazy? If you all put 20 cents in, we could have a tournament on Friday. Or if a fifth of you donate 100 bits, that's all it's going to take. A lot more StarCraft. Anyways, I'm going to cast this one. I don't want to talk about it all day. I just want to put it in your minds. Tempt you a little bit. Stargate's dropping down from ShoWTimE, so getting that up and rolling as we see a probe heading over, and has just been off to scout early on. Hasn't seen anything too crazy though. Double sentry from MaNa means he's probably just going to go into Stalker and a sentry after is a common way to do this. Or I guess double sentry is fine to just stop on as well. He's going to go straight into the Twilight Council, as we do see that Stargate coming up in the main base. So ShoWTimE opting for a Stargate, obviously, rather than an extra sentry, basically. That's where the gas difference was, for his Stargate to come down a bit faster here. MaNa with an extra sentry, as you see the Twilight Council coming in. And just going to be getting into this. First Oracle comes out, going to start heading across the bottom right-hand side of the map. Robot facility on the way up in that main base, as well as the hallucinated Phoenix. Going to fly right into the main and just get a full scout out on what is currently happening. That blink coming down in the main base then. There's a couple stalkers hopping up here. A couple stalkers there. Having to push that Oracle back. Not really a lot of aggression gained from the first Oracle. I mean, a lot of damage gained. Just a couple workers going down. Nothing all too crazy as these couple of Adepts continuing to shade forwards. And looking to see what they can get up to. There's that blink again from MaNa. I mean, as that comes into play, obviously a lot of opportunities to really kind of rise up here. There's another couple of Adepts shading through. We have a shield battery up on the high ground. Oh, the Adept's going to commit onto the sentry there. And a couple of Oracles able to come in, and while the Adepts kind of keep things busy, get not just a probe, but they also get themselves a sentry as well. Two Adepts on the other side of the map already causing some chaos. One goes down, which means when it drops back to the natural, well, probes pull away already. But it just means it's not going to cause as much chaos as it would like. Just some lost mining time, which is still a fairly big deal, of course, don't get me wrong. Lost mining time is a huge deal, not something you really want to have to put up with. As that last Adept, well, he's going to run and run and run, and he will get a probe kill. Run, Adept, run! Oh my god, that's probe, a hero, chases it down. Get out of my base, says the probe. You just killed my brother right in front of me, what do you expect me to do? Hashtag probes fight back. Again, Revelation just comes in, drops down that natural expansion here. Another Stalker going to get warped in. With a Forge coming down on either side of the map. We're again heading in towards that kind of macro mid-game of PvP, which is so often just about those upgrades and Immortals and Archons. Again, all of that kind of going, like rolling in nice and quickly, basically. Well, hallucination there definitely will scare MaNa just a little bit as the Oracle's back into the natural, and ShoWTimE finds himself 5 more workers. Awesome. What about 4 bits? Thank you so much, Serpent1. Every few bits will count. Every few bits will go a long way. Appreciate it. You see those Stalkers blinking back again. Couple Oracles hanging out on the upper right as we do see the Warp Prism is being Chrono Boosted here on the Robo facility. Again, those Stalkers just blinking away. And a couple of Oracles. And again, moving down to the bottom side of things here. Prism finishes up as we're going to be seeing that Chrono Boost on the +1. I'll tell you, if you about buying bits, I don't think you can do it just from chat. You have to be on like a web page. Didn't follow the conversation directly, but on the top right of, like, if you're on like a web page in a browser, there's a big button that says like get bits, I think, which is where you can buy them. Anyways, just trying to jump in and see what happens. Anyways. Let's see what goes down as you see those 8 workers getting killed. I mean, MaNa is really just being bullied in that work account all game long. He's lost 16 workers, and while he's had some counter-aggression here and there, these Oracles have just been going huge. 13 and 4 kills on them. Obviously, they picked up a sentry at some stage of this as well. They got a lot of damage done here. There's the Observer, just comes back in. Just sits in that upper left corner. Temple Archives coming down. Here in the main base, we're going to see those couple Oracles again diving by and getting a few probe kills. Stalkers coming up the left. MaNa's obviously felt as though he can't really apply too much more pressure. Both players just sat back on 2 bases here. ShoWTimE's army definitely more powerful. He's already got himself a whole bunch of Immortals that MaNa just doesn't have in his composition. A couple of Archons as well, as MaNa just now goes into that Temple Archive. So, I mean, the repercussions of MaNa having to consistently rebuild probes and going down on income again and again and again has just led to ShoWTimE having a little bit more to spend on some of those higher tech units and just being a little bit more prepared for this a little bit faster. A few Stalkers poking up towards the natural there and thinking about maybe poking forwards and towards some of those Zealots or the pylon of the shield battery. ShoWTimE comes over and it's just going to be, again, moving this hallucination around. Stalkers there, able to pick that off, though, without too much of an issue. Oh, 4 or 5 workers going down. Again, man, these Oracles find another on their way out. When does it end? 27 kills on the 2 Oracles now. They turn it back towards the natural to try and maybe be very cheeky and get a sentry. Feedback comes down. I mean, there's barely any energy on the Oracle anyways. It survives all of this with 4 HP, as MaNa will throw down a 3rd Nexus, and ShoWTimE sees this as well. So these Oracles have really just done absolutely everything and beyond for ShoWTimE. They've picked up so many worker kills. They have picked up so much information. These Oracles have by far and away done their job and beyond. Honestly, they have done so much this game. And that's really one of the only reasons ShoWTimE is so far ahead right now. Yeah, obviously he's defended well and stuff like this, but those Oracles have just constantly been so frustrating to deal with. The results charging forwards as Stalkers will have to push a couple of those away though. This 2 attack is about to finish up from ShoWTimE, so he's behind on an upgrade at the moment, but pushing across. He has a 30 army supply advantage here, so ShoWTimE definitely has the numbers to work with. Needs to just keep this Prism safe. Doesn't want it to be anywhere those Stalkers can just blink in and take it down, of course. The last thing you want is to not have reinforcements available to you here as you're pushing. It's usually one of the things you're just reliant on in these PvP fights. As Zelts will go charging into Stalkers again. They blink back, but now ShoWTimE's on top of the 3rd base. And so MaNa has to kind of come down and deal with this. The Oracles are back again. Full workers killed. I mean, it just doesn't end, does it? Resources lost is doubling for MaNa compared to ShoWTimE as he gets rid of that 3rd Nexus. Oh, look at that. Oracle's going wild in the main. 36 kills between them and counting. MaNa's economy is disappearing. Some force fields here trying to choke up the Zealots a bit, but I mean, realistically, it's just not going to matter. There's just going to be so much from ShoWTimE. Again, those Oracles have been absolute heroes. They went down at the very end of all of this, but those Oracles just showing us how good ShoWTimE